Now, Bruce, what I'm about to say, I realize comes from the realm in our business as a hot take. Okay, I understand it, but I'm going to posit to you what I posited to Joel Klatt on this program last week, because the conference championship games, I think, are useless, and I think Alabama proved it last year where they didn't even play in theirs and then won it all. So why wouldn't it behoove Alabama to lose to LSU this weekend at LSU in a close one, just to avoid having to play the conference championship game? Let LSU try and beat Georgia, and then sit back and make the Final Four anyway, because they're going to win out. If they say, let's say they win out, I know this is supposing a lot, but why wouldn't it benefit Alabama to do that and have that happen?
I mean, in theory, it probably would. Other than the fact that what does a loss do for the confidence of some of these younger players? Because we're talking about, it's not just Tua, it's Quinnen Williams and Deontay Thompson. They've had young stars emerge in a big way.
I think Nick Saban will be able to handle the young confidence. I think he's looking for these guys to get batted around themselves. Now, obviously, he doesn't want to lose, but he wants to avoid the rat poison, to use his phrase. So let him get humbled. And there is no way that the committee, no matter how much they might hand wring over schedule, there is no way a one-loss Alabama losing at LSU as their only loss gets held out of the Final Four. I don't think there's anything on this green earth, especially if Tua's got that trophy in the case. I don't think that at all is going to happen.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I think you're right. I don't think Nick Saban wants to do that, but I think you're right. Look, there's probably a realistic shot that if LSU loses close, and keep in mind, they're going to be missing the best linebacker in college football for the first half, Devin White. If they lose close and then win at Texas A&M and they're 10-2, especially if Georgia comes into the SEC title game and plays Alabama tough, there's a chance you could have a 10-2 LSU team.
That's nuts.
Be the fourth team in the playoff.
Now I would if Michigan wins out and gets a chance to and has only one loss to Notre Dame, which hasn't had any losses, that would be an absolute abomination, Bruce. And that's what, again, Michigan for me. And I'm look. There's so much more to be played. This game against Penn State. There's the Ohio State game in the Horseshoe, which, as we all know, is I don't even want to go there. But if Michigan wins out, they've got to put it all on the line against a Wisconsin or a Northwestern team they've already beaten. Yeah. I mean, for what? For what possible purpose would the Big Ten championship game exist except to put a dagger in the heart of their team's best shot at winning a national championship? It makes no sense the way this is all set up. It's so bass-ackward that it makes only sense to give 8 teams and automatic bids for the conference championship game. So a team like Northwestern or Wisconsin could still play themselves in and be a Cinderella. At least losing in a conference championship game to a team like that, you give a shot to the team that wins, right?
Yeah, I think, look, it's a very flawed system. And for a lot of the reasons you're pointing out, I don't think that's a bad idea. 5 automatic bids and then 3 at-larges. The part that's challenging to that is the schedule gets longer. You'll hear some of that. Then it's like, okay, do we really want to have conference title games? Well, those conference championships bring in a lot of money for those schools. So, they got to figure something out with that. But I think there's going to be some push to expand to 8 at some point. I just think 4, there's too many conferences that are feeling like they're going to get squeezed. The Pac-12 is going to get squeezed this year. And it's not a stretch to think the Big 12 could get squeezed, because now if Notre Dame is undefeated, potentially even if Notre Dame is 11-1, and let's say Notre Dame loses to Northwestern this week and then beats USC and beats Syracuse, Notre Dame is going to feel like they get snubbed if they're 11-1. And so there's a lot of stuff to be sorted out. Never mind all the UCF/Houstons, or if you feel like they don't have any realistic hope no matter what they do. I could see there being momentum to go to 8, but right now this is the system we got, and it leaves it into this. Like, for a while, people thought this debate stuff was a good thing about college football. I don't think it's good. I think people will talk about the sport anyway. They don't need us to have these kind of nonsensical arguments where it's like it comes back to, well, everybody sucks. That's like the default for this. It's just not the right way, I don't think.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.